My name is Elijah Vasquez, and you could call me Eli, but I'll be reading two HBCU stories. The first story focuses on historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, how they were created after the Civil War during Reconstruction. These schools were built to provide education for African Americans at a time when most other institutions either excluded them or they placed heavy limits on their access. Over time, HBCUs became powerful spaces not only for academics, but also for athletics as well. The story highlights athletes like Athlia Gibson, who attended Florida A&M University, and University became a tennis champion. Earl Malone, who attended Winston-Salem University and became an NBA All-Star. Also, these athletes were not successful individually, but they also represented pride, resilience, and excellence for the communities, especially for the HBCU communities. The second story is musical life at HBCUs. It focuses on the musicians, all the music stuff that's amplified with the HBCU schoolings. It shows marching bands, choirs, musical traditions, and developed on campuses for the HBCUs. These musical programs are not just entertainment, they were a form of cultural expression, school pride, and community identity. HBCU bands in particular became famous for their energy and creativity while they're performing. Everybody gets excited while watching the HBCU bands. Connection to course materials. When connecting to these stories to full faith and full of hope, I see a strong connection in both how athletics and music HBCUs were on faith and opportunity and hope for the future. These institutions were created in time of inequality, but they still built environments where a student could grow, succeed, and express themselves playing football, or whether it is being a musician or on marching band. That same sense of hope carried through athletes and musicians who used their talents to push forward despite the barriers in life. In the modern civil rights movement, the reading emphasized how progress came through long-term resistance and the creation of strong institutions. HBCUs are a part of that history because they were built as spaces of resistance against segregation in education. Athletes and musicians from these schools helped challenge stereotypes by showing excellence in sports, academics, and even arts when the society did not always recognize their value. From Black Joy, I connected the idea of the joy itself in form of resistance. Both stories show this clearly. In athletics, joy comes through competition, achievement, and community pride. In music, joy even more visibly through marching bands, performances, and cultural celebration. Even in times of struggle, HBCU campuses created spaces where Black joy were fully expressed and shared. In the video Black Fold Mental Health, there is no discussion about historical stress and racism impact mental health, but also how community and cultural spaces help healing. HBCUs play a lot of big roles. Whether it's sports, teams, or musician programs, students are able to express themselves, find community, and feel supported in environments that understand their experience. Contemporary relevance. In sports today, athletes will often expect to carry pressure and represent more than just themselves as an individual, especially in communities where opportunities can be limited. HBCUs continue to provide pathways for athletes who may not get the same recognition somewhere else. In music, HBCU bands and music traditions had a major influence on modern culture, especially in how music, performance, and entertainment are expressed today. You can still see the impact of creativity in mainstream music and performance styles. Both stories connect ongoing conversations about representation, equality, and access in education of arts. Personal engagement. Personally, these stories made me reflect a lot on my identity, because especially me being a football athlete and how I'm going to transfer in June when I graduate after RCC. I'm going to play at the next level, Division I football, and I don't just see it as a competition or discipline or opportunity. I just see it like being history for me and my family as well, so that's how I could reflect with the HBCU athletes and me, and just life, just becoming a better person at what you're doing every single day and growing as a person and an individual yourself. If I had to summarize the reflection, HBCUs are places where the talent doesn't just exist, it develops, celebrates, and shared. That's how I was at Riverside City College. I got developed, and a lot of coaches shared me through Twitter and everything, from my highlights, and helped me get to where I am now. To wrap up, the biggest takeaway I got from both stories is that HBCUs are more than just schools. They are cultural institutions that build excellence through education, sports, and music. They represent resilience, pride, and opportunity. So my question is, For my classmates, how do you think culture through sports and music can help shape identity and opportunity through education today? Thank you guys for listening to my stories.